383. Resistance at 91, 98, 4405, 11, 21. Support below at 72, 62, 55, 48, and 39. Pivot 83, support 72, 62, 55, 48, 39. Resistance on the upside at 91, 98, 05, 11, and 21. All right, market here continues to somewhat of a sideways tilt to it, somewhat, as the market here is definitely under a little bit of pressure, given the bond market continues to drift higher, and yields drift higher as the price goes down. They're hitting 3% yield now on the 30s. Haven't seen that since 19, but the implication obviously is for 2019, but the implication obviously is for higher interest rates all around, especially the housing market, and the market opens up here and pop a little bit. And again, just be a little bit careful. Again, we talked about this first bar, always a little bit more tenuous than the rest, coming right up to our green band there, coming quickly, quick rotation off of it. All right, if you were a little aggressive there, maybe you were able to scale in and get us a nice little rotation here off of that 91. We had a little back up there against our green band of 95, and a nice quick rotation here on our first little resistance area. All right, quick little pop there, coming down here to our settlement price. Again, that would cover them if you did buy them or sell them up there. And quickly coming back down here. That's where I would cover some if you are still short. And then we'll see what it wants to do. Again, we talked about the volatility in the first bar. It continues. That doesn't really change much. That always is there, that volatility in the first couple bars, actually. And quick rotation against our first resistance area, and then we'll see what it wants to do. Coming back down here. Again, welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps. We're looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on the levels that we gave out. And if you look at the chat box window, if you bring your chat box window up, you will see the levels that we've printed up in there for you. And those are there for a guide as for the day. We can add to them, subtract from them, tweak them a little bit. All of these are opportunities they're just a guide to help us find areas of inflection that we believe the market will give us a chance to scalp the market and make a little bit, probably 2 or 3 points on our trades this morning, at least with the volatility the way it's at. That's what we are kind of rooting for here again. But when you get a nice entry point and a nice market rotation, you can probably take a little bit more than 2 or 3 points on your trades, depending on on how you manage those trades. All right, we said we would cover them down there around the 86 area, and maybe you might have bought them down there as well if you did buy them. And a nice little pop back up here was one of our price action reasons to buy them down there. A nice little rotation back up here. Next level of resistance we have is up here at 98. We swiftly come up here to this upper level up here. Again, got it. If you did get in there against 97, again, you're scaling in, you're getting a nice rotation here against our 98 area. Again, all we're trying to do is take opportunities to scalp the market based on ebbs and flows and areas that we feel the market will give us an opportunity to scalp. Nice little pop up there right up to 97.5 and then rotate it off. Again, we're not going to be perfect, so we ran over the 91 a little bit on the first trade, and now we are just got right up to the 98 area by going up to 97.5 and then trading off. So nice little quick little scalps here. Market is being nice to us this morning. Yesterday, on the other hand, it was a little bit kind of ran away from us on that first bar, but at least it's being kind to us this morning, giving us a chance to enter. And yesterday we had to make more decision to are we going to stay with it because we're not getting the reaction we're looking for. But today we are getting those reactions and not making us think too much. Maybe you were able to jump in on that level as well. The next level that we have up is up at the 05 area. You just never know which way these markets are going to be trading. Just have to take each day as it comes and stay disciplined with the same logic and methodology, and that gives you an opportunity to trade the markets on an everyday basis and stay focused. Anything I say as far as trades are concerned, we teach in our education course in addition to this trading room that we have. Our education course is separate than our trading room. If you want to find these areas on your own, and or if you want to be able to find price action opportunities that I'm talking about as well, the goal of the course is for you to be able to do this on your own. And you can probably use this kind of same concepts in other markets as well to help you manage those trades. How you get into them is also what we talked about, and it depends on your risk tolerance as well. Those are all things that are important and being successful and being profitable. And we teach that in our education course in addition to our trading room in here. Let's see if we have any numbers coming out this morning. Nope, no numbers this morning. Bond yields continue to rotate to the upside. All right. And the market did go right up to our 98 area there, getting up to 97.5 and bouncing off of that. Again, if you did get in, that's great. If you didn't get in, I would be a little bit more tenuous, and 98 per se would be a little bit more of a would not take that level since the level at 97.5 basically worked against that 98. Can we repeat the levels in the chat, please? All right. There are the levels for you in the chat, in case you missed them. Again, we're using those as a guide to the day, looking for opportunities to scalp the market against those areas that we feel give us a chance to scalp. You can see how we worked off of the 91, got up to that one, kind of ran through a little bit, but kind of quickly came back. It's not like you even had time to, hopefully didn't have time to get out of them. And then came right back. We said we had a buy area around the 85, and they got down to, well, 86, and then they got down to 85 and rotated back up to hit our 98 area. And then now we're just kind of trading back here in a little bit of a range. So nice quick opportunities for us. If you were participating, again, all we're trying to do is take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. And we're finding these areas of inflection to give us an opportunity to scalp. That's what we do here on an everyday basis. We're also focused more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities to trade. We feel the dynamics of the morning versus the afternoon trade, which is a little bit different, gives us a fair chance to scalp the market against the levels that you see, and then also there's price action opportunities that occur. Combination of both of those gives us our chances to trade and scalp. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. All right, next level resistance we have is up at 05. Again, we talked about not being able to take the 98 because it basically got tested already. So we're looking at the 05 in that area next. Quickly coming up here to the 05 area. All right, working that area now. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Okay, a nice quick rotation here against our 05 area. Again, depending on, we talked about scaling in, that time the 4.5 definitely got filled up there. Didn't get up to 5, obviously, got up to 475 there. And so obviously, again, it's kind of the same situation where we're not going to be perfect, so you have to kind of scale in. And, that gave us a nice quick rotation off of the 05. And you have to be kind of fast here. It's happening all in the same kind of 5-minute bar and the same minute bar. So that's what the market, that's what we're trying to do here, is just find areas to scalp. And we had a nice quick rotation off the old 4.5. If you did get in there, even if you got in at 4, you did okay. All right, again, giving you a nice rotation against our 5 level here. All right, so we've been just doing pretty good against our levels. Can we repeat the levels? If you look at the chat, you'll see the levels that we gave out this morning as a guide to the day. There they are for you. Again, you can see how our levels have worked nicely here to the upside. We've got nice rotations against all our upside resistance areas. We got 11 and 21 that we gave out already. We'll give out some more. We never know which way the markets are going. That's definitely the case here. All we can do is trade whatever the market gives us. And above 21, we've got a 30 and then 40. If we start rotating above here to the upside. So above the 21 here, we've got 30 and then 40. We'll include those levels in the chat. Wow, that is quick. That is very quick, impressive. That was fast. You are wide awake this morning. I have to admit, Don was not so fast, even though he that's why he needs you here. That was impressive. All right, well, we continue to rally here a little bit. And next level of resistance we have is up at the 11 area. We like to average 4 or 5 trades a day. Obviously, today we're going to probably exceed that average. Nothing wrong with that, but it's an average. Yesterday we had to be a little bit more patient and prudent. At least the market today is, the volatility is there, and it's giving us our chances a lot quicker, which is fine. Yesterday we had to be a lot more patient and kind of let the market do its thing, and also wait for the opportunities to present themselves. And today they're presenting themselves a lot quicker, which is fine. Let's see here. Investors get more data on U.S. housing markets today as analysts point to signs of cooling in the red hot sector. Housing starts and permits for April are due. Economists expect groundbreaking on new home sales to drop to an annual rate of 1.75 million, while permits are seen as edging down to 1.8. Demand for homes is strong, with many properties for sale going well above asking price. But with a hawkish Fed and Treasury yields jumping, the 30-year mortgage is topped 5% for the first time in a decade. Rising rates are starting to show up in housing data. Said some analysts that could further dent demand, although housing starts have historically been unresponsive to changes in mortgage rates in a supply-constrained environment. Likely because home builders are able to continue building with little fear that homes will sit vacant after completion, said Goldman Sachs. Yesterday's National Associated Home Building Market Index fell for a seventh month. For April, the housing market faces an inflection point, as an unexpected quick rise in interest rates, rising home prices, accelerating material costs have significantly decreased housing affordability conditions, particularly in crucial entry-level markets. Yeah, the beach is calling for you. Well, you'd have to figure, since rates are going up, that there would be a little bit of an issue there. The home builders ETF down nearly 30% year to date and is off 15% from its near-term peak in mid-March. S&P 500 is down 8% year to date. The sector is also vulnerable to risk of Fed orchestrating a hard landing with its rate hikes possibly leading to a recession. But Citi says that a replay of 2018 isn't in the cards. 2008, I should say, isn't in the cards. We believe the housing risk is much less severe than occurred during the Great Financial Crisis, since credit quality is healthy, home equity levels are high, and there is higher structural demand for homes than pre-pandemic. So that's a little bit better news as far as the housing market is concerned. St. Louis Fed Bullard said he wouldn't rule out a 75 basis point increase, but isn't my base case. The market has priced in a 50 basis point hike for the May meeting, kicking off a ramped up tightening cycle. Yeah, they are not happy with these numbers. Fed. I don't blame them, but they are. The bond market is really way ahead of the curve on this one. But the market is here strong. We're a 44 handle, and we haven't closed below that dominating bar from last Tuesday. Traded below it. We opened up below it yesterday, but they quickly came above it, and right now we haven't closed below it. So kind of a technical little issue here from last Tuesday's dominating bar. All right, so we had the housing starts and permits already came out. I guess maybe we quickly rotating up here. Wow, did not see this little move coming. The market continues to flash up here. Again, that time kind of ran through our 11 there like it didn't even exist. Okay, well, that was not nice of it. But we're looking at our next level up here is at the 21 area. Wow, what a strong little market here this morning. Who would have thunk it? Kind of running right through everything. You just never know. That's why there's always. That's why we always say you got to come back tomorrow. That is our key here to trading. You always got to make sure you can come back tomorrow because you just never know on any particular day what it's going to bring. And, our levels worked out perfectly, except for obviously this 11 didn't turn out so well. And now we're just kind of looking at the 21 area next. Well, even though the big thing about the cases of COVID cases have been going up, but the hospitalizations have not. So I guess the vaccine must be working pretty good to keep people out of the hospital. Which is, I guess, what the reason. I guess you take a flu shot for the same reason, right? You don't want to get too sick. I don't know. Seems to be working, so that's a good thing. Maybe we will stop at some point talking about that. But at some point, who knows when. All right, market continues to uptick here. Pretty amazing strong little rally here. Looking at the 21 area, next level of resistance that we have. All right. Very impressive rally. Kind of ran through that last area, which is what we're going to do. Can't always be perfect here. And now we'll look, let's see, we'll work the 21 area if it gets up there. Bonds really kind of already reacted to the news, and bond equities are just, it's amazing how they keep staying strong in the light of everything, in light of everything. I mean, you're talking about, 5%, 30-year mortgages, 3% yield on the tens. Let's see here, the spread here between, let's see, spread here between some of the spreads here between the 2s to the 10s. The 2s are trading at 247, and the 10s are at 290. 10s to the 30s. Well, they're both close to 3%. The difference this morning was 290 to 3%. So there's a little bit of a difference there, but we said they're probably about over 3% right now. This obviously was taken this morning, just before this last market push to the downside in the bond market. Twos to the 5s. 2s are 247 again, and the 5s are 280. So everything's close to being inverted, except for the 2s have kind of held back a little bit as the rest of the market has expanded and steepened the curve a little bit. Twos were leading initially, and then the rest of the market now is swiftly coming back into play. Up here to the 21 area now. And kind of running through here a little bit. You can always lighten the load, see what you want to do. And pretty amazing rally, if you ask me. Just totally amazing. I work in this little area here. And if you don't like the price action, giving you a chance to scratch it, get out of some right now, and or see if you want to stay with it a little bit and see what you want to do. All these are part of your risk tolerance and how you manage those trades. But they're coming right back down here to give you a chance to scratch some or get out for a little bit of a profit. You got in a little bit higher because of the volatility in the market, and you're doing a little bit better. And you can adjust your entry points based on your risk tolerance, and you can see what the market is doing as well. So when up there, you could have the upper end of that range instead, only because you see the volatility is kind of increased, which is kind of doesn't usually happen on these rally markets, right? Definitely work in this 21 area here. It gave you a chance to get out of some. If you have multiple contracts, or take a little bit of a profit if you're just trading smaller, as it got down below, down to 20. But then we have 30 and then 40 up on the upside. And working this 21. At least kind of stop up there. I would have a stop at 25 if you're going to, if you still have them right now. If you got any left over. The market is just very, very strong here. Continues to pop back up. Next level we have is up at 30, but hopefully you were able to minimize your trade there a little bit by exiting some. And we had a good reason to exit. All right, market kind of, and who knew that this was going to rally? Like yesterday, I think kind of did the same thing in the morning, kind of rallied strong, but yesterday it didn't give us a chance. At least today it's giving us a little bit of a chance here to work some of these orders. And earlier levels, we were getting a little bit profit. We also did have a suggested getting long at those lower levels when we were trading before, down at around 85, 86 area. There's a couple reasons where you could have bought them down there. Trust me, if I knew we were going to rally 45 points, I would have told you. If you knew we were going to rally 45 points, I wish you would have told me. But we never know which way markets are going, how they're going to react to news. Obviously, they're reacting to the housing stuff, but kind of dismissing interest rates, that's for sure. All right, we stay strong here, looking for 30 next. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. All right, we'll continue to push upwards here. We're looking at the 30 area next. Oh, we got the all right. And that was a very strong rally here. Who knew? We're looking at the 30 area next as a level of resistance that we have. I can, I can figure it out. All right. Market never ceases to amaze me. Really. Continues to push upward there. Looking at the 30 area as our next level of resistance that we have. All right, coming right up here to our 30 area. All right, market just continues to just kind of stay strong here. And you're working this 30 area now. And your scales to the upside could be adjusted because of the strength of the market. Nothing wrong with adjusting your entry points based on the market's strength here, but keep your stops placed no matter what. Because we could just never guess what these things are going to do. And up here now, we're looking at the 40 level next. Just amazing. A little bit of resistance right there at the 34.5 area. You can see they built up the price had some orders came in there. All right, market kind of you're working this 30 area. If you were a little aggressive, if you got stopped out, totally get it. Now we're just kind of just hanging up here again. Relentless little market here, that's for sure. I will, if you're working this little area here still, getting a chance here to exit some of these things. If you try to stay short, I can understand, but definitely if you're did manage to stay short there a little bit. And again, there was only one reason that there was a little buildup of some orders coming in there right against the 34 area. If you were watching the ladder ticket, you could see some of those entry point orders come in there up there. Kind of a blast of orders that came in that area, and maybe it may help you stay with it just a little bit and exit just above it if it did get going again. But if you didn't, and if you got out, that's okay. And now we're kind of rotating down here a little bit. Now you'd have to be able to kind of use a trailing stop with anything else. Obviously, takes a little bit. Definitely a risk reward situation here. But again, there was only one reason to hang in there with it, only because of the influx of orders that came up there against the 34 area. If you look at ladder ticket and you see the orders that were trading, you can see the difference up there around 34. And then they did finally did come off here a little bit. And now we're just kind of coming back down. So you are getting, if you expanded your stops there a little bit to include the volatility that's in the market, then maybe you stayed with it. If you didn't, if you took your stops, then it's fine. Now we'll look at the next level above is up at 40. Really, we don't have any good support until down at 05. If anybody has any questions, good time to ask. It's like they're slowing down just a little bit. Maybe they're going to gravitate up here. Next level of resistance we have is up at the 40. Yeah, no, it's kind of, what can I tell you? I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What can I tell you? Everything doesn't make sense anymore. If you're trying to make sense out of logic, it does. There's no logic anymore to all the masks thing has created some like weird people saying stupid things about you can't force me to wear a mask. Sure, you don't have to wear a mask, okay, but I mean, it's not because nobody wanted to wear a mask. I don't understand how everybody, these people who are like screaming about wearing a mask. You think anybody wants to wear a mask? I mean, there's underlying reason why you're wearing a mask. It's not so that you. I don't know. The masks thing has created some weirdness in people to say stupid things, and the reason to make it seem about personal rights when it's not. It's just about health. I mean, I don't get it. The pandemic has created some weird stuff out there all over the world. What can I tell you? I don't understand it. I mean, let's put it this way. I'm sure there are going to be people who are still going to wear a mask on the plane, and nobody's going to tell them not to now. Is that what's going to happen? Is if people want to wear a mask, they're going to be help. You're going to have a fight now with people. Oh, take your mask off. I mean, we're yelling at people to put on a mask. Now we're going to yell at people to take off a mask. I don't know, but you never know. Craziness that's happening these days. It's just like you never. Who can tell anymore? But I mean, at least people will wear a mask if they want to, if they feel like they can. It's, this whole mask thing just does make sense to me. All right, again, we maybe have come up here to this little area where we're gonna kind of hang out. I don't know. They, they did bounce off of that 25 area, kind of made sense. If you manage to stay short against that 30, again, if you expanded your stops there a little bit, then you got a good rotation off of it and a good opportunity. And if you didn't, that's all right. We'll look at the 40 and the level next. Settle down just a little bit here. Settle down up here at these highs. Next area we're looking at is the 40. And we continue to push upwards here. Pretty amazing stuff, if you ask me. Looking at 40, got up to 7.5. Come back down here a little bit. Support right now would be around the 05. Right, we gotta just kind of see what it wants to do up here. We got 05, next level that I'm 40. I mean, the next level I'll be focusing on. Let me give you some other levels above here. We've got 48, 54, 61. See where that takes us. Whoa, whoa, that's impressive. 48, 54, 61, right? And if you look at the chat, they are right there for you. very busy morning this morning. Again, we never know when opportunities are going to strike or not. We had good opportunities in the early part of our levels, and all of a sudden the continued rally here has kind of ran through our 30 and well, we had to take a little bit of heat on that one. And then coming up here, we got 40 next. And we'll give you some more levels up there at 48, 54, and then 61. All right. Continues to push up here, looking at the 40 area, got up to 39 there. Again, if you're scaling in, maybe you jumped in there a little bit. You see a big 500 order a lot. Oh, he's trying to buy him. Pushed it all the way up there to 37. And now he's off. So we have a coming back up here again. If you did jump in there against the 39, got filled, but getting a little bit of a rotation here off of it. You can still on the same bar, so 40 is still in play. We have a 600 lot up there at 40, or maybe it's the same guy with the 500 lot below, trying to push it up here. I don't know, but at least we see some of the orders are still in play here. And there's some 100 lots up and down the order kit, which hasn't been the case lately. So they got up to 39 area there and get a nice rotation off of it. If you did jump in there, again, your entry point for your scale, your lower entry point for your scale, you're doing okay. All right, got up to that 39, rotating off here a little bit. If you did manage to get in there, you're getting a nice low rotation here off of that 39 area. Yeah, now we're in a new bar, so that 40 area would be a little bit tenuous. Basically, a 39 is where we're at with the 40. And support right now would be around the 15 area. All right, again, we're coming back up here at 39. Again, be careful there if you're going to do the 40 because of the rotation off of 39. The 40 is a lot more riskier right now. So only if you're going to be very risk averse, you're definitely looking for the 48 area. All right, now we're busting here a little bit through. Again, if you didn't get in there at 39, obviously we talked about how it's a lot more riskier right now at the 40. And if you're doing anything, you're putting an upper level entry point if you're doing anything at all, or else just wait for the 48. It would probably be the better course of action there. Again, this is how you make adjustments to the levels based on the price action. You have to understand the price action so you can make those adjustments accordingly. Can we repeat the levels again in the chat? There they are. As you can see, we've added more resistance areas as the market has made this little push up here to the upside. And obviously, we never know which way the markets are going to go. And now we continue to push up here, looking at the 48 level next. All right, market here continues to uptick, looking at the 48 area next. All right, market here is staying strong, looking at the 48 next. Right now we got support down at the 25 area. Obviously, today we've gotten, we like that, like I said, like to average about 4 or 5 trades a day. Today we're definitely averaging a lot more than that. So we continue to rally, coming up here to the 48 area. All right, coming up here to the 48 area here. Pretty strong little market again. Obviously, if you're scaling in, maybe you're getting in here at 47. Just like the lower end there at 30, you got up to 39 versus our 40. Still on the same bar though, so pretty strong little market here, that's for sure. The levels again that we are focused in on, we get the 48 area here, trying to see what it wants to do. Pretty strong little route. I mean, that is amazing, right? Just amazing. But it is what it is. Working this 48 area now. All right there, Mark. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Again, your scale got to be, we're scaling in, so we have to be in here at around 47. All right, working this 48 area here. Getting a nice rotation here off of this level. All right, nice little rotation here against our 48 area. Very busy morning this morning. And most of it has been pretty good. Obviously, we're not going to be perfect. And that was definitely the case. But we've kind of worked through some of these trades with you today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Rose, if you just came in, gonna have our class later around 12 Chicago time, so 1 o'clock your time. All right, nice rotation there against the 48 level. Got up to 770, 750 and rotated off. Was there a clue? I wish I could have told you that there was a clue. I would have definitely liked the clue that it was going to just rally 60 points. Unfortunately, the market doesn't really give us any indication that that might be happening. If it did, I would have definitely shared it with you, that's for sure. This is why we trade. You never know which way the market is deciding to, has decided or does decide to make these moves. Sometimes you don't get any moves. You never know why all of a sudden these market participants decide to make a market move one way or the other. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit more clear. You have some geopolitical situations, some economic reports or something, but if you would have told me before the market opened, especially with bonds making new yield highs, that this was going to happen, I would have been surprised, as I am, and as I keep telling you, I'm surprised. But again, it's not our job to give us any idea which way markets are going. If you try to have a clue, as you're saying, or wanting, you get if you find that clue, and if you trade that clue at the beginning of the day, then you have your mindset towards that idea. If, let's say, your clue this morning was to be short, or the market was going down, you'd be fighting this thing all the way up, and you'd be not be too happy. So having an idea which way, even if we told you which way the market is going, sometimes it's impossible for you to, I mean, this is like a straight upside rally, then really come back at all too much. But it is what it is. That's why we don't try to figure out which way markets are going here. We just try to react to the opportunities that the market presents us well with. And here we're short up here at the 48 area, and we're getting a nice rotation off of it. And how you manage that trade and how you can take more than 2 or 3 or 4 points out of that trade is up to each individual. But it doesn't matter that the market was going up. We've done pretty good today, kind of finding our areas that we think the market will give us an opportunity to scalp, and traded off of those pretty well, I think, for the most part. So we try to stay away from having any idea which way the markets are going to trade, because we don't want to have the wrong mindset going into a day, and then that'll kind of stick with you the rest of the day. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the reason we don't have a clue. And the second reason is the market really did not tell us one way or the other that this was going to happen. And if I knew it was going to happen, I would have shared it with you. All right, we continue to downtick here. Finally got a nice entry point against our 48 area. And a nice rotation here. Managing your trade is key here to be able to maximize profit. Obviously, if you're trading more than 1 or 2 contracts, you're able to squeeze a little bit more than 3 or 4 points out of some of these trades. And keeping your stops in place also helps. We've had some nice rotations off of some of these trades, giving us this is a nice little rotation here off of this 48 entry point. Again, if you're managing your trade, and if you have multiple contracts, you're able to definitely take more than 3 or 4 points on some of these trades. My answer does make sense without any doubt. Again, it's just again, we've been doing this for a while, so I definitely, I've come in with ideas of which way the markets have been. I think the market was going to go, and it always cost me at the end of the day. So now I share those my bad trading habits with you, so that you stay out of trouble. That's basically the whole point here. Those are bad trading habits, to have an idea which way the market's going. All right. Again, if you have a trailing stop here with anything, if you're short with anything, just whatever trailing stop you have that makes you comfortable. And this is a good way to take a little bit more than 3 or 4 points on some of these trades like I talked about. Again, we focus more on the morning hours. We like to trade about 4 or 5 times. Obviously, today we have exceeded that by multiple, which is okay. You know, you never know when we're going to get trade and when we're not. Yesterday it was quite the opposite. We had to be very patient and wait for our opportunities, wait for a level to get triggered, wait for a trade to develop. Today obviously was a little bit different. And like I said yesterday, you got to make sure you come here tomorrow. You never know when we're going to get busy and when we're not. And you always got to stay out of trouble. And stops keeps you out of trouble. And that way you can wait for the good opportunity and good trade to come that comes upon you, so that you can capitalize on that when the market presents that trade for us. All right. So again, right now we got support still at 25, and next level on the upside we have is the 54 area. And but again, it's been these rallies. At least this was a decent break. But you know what happens with these rallies, right? They're tough. They're definitely tough to trade. Well, this morning even we were talking about closing below that Tuesday dominating range, right? That we talked about since last week, and we haven't closed below it. Stayed above it, and we traded below it, but didn't close below it today. And now we might be talking about the upside resistance of that dominating bar, and how we have to close above it for us to be able to say that we're going to rally some more. So the dominating bar is looking like a very important, especially, I mean, could we close above this? Could we close above it today? We surely could, but who knows? Seems like we might trade back into that range, but I don't know. Not really. I'd not be surprised if I'd be very surprised if we do trade close above it. That's for sure. But then again, the whole day surprising. But hopefully, we manage to help you with some of our trades here and stay with it a little bit. Again, we do have an education course that helps you figure out how these levels are developed, and then also how to trade them, how to get into them, how to exit them, how to maximize profits, and how to even scratch some of them when the market doesn't give us what we're looking for. All right. See, we're kind of trying to turn over here a little bit. If you're trying to stay short against that 48, this is a good way to. We'll target the 25 here. I'll see if we can. Again, this is only if you have anything left over. We get about 45 right now. You want to be out of any shorts. All right. We'll take a little bit of a break here. We're going to have a class later this afternoon. And anybody who's part of the course, they could stay. And we'll get back here in a bit.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. Hey, Christoph, just let me know if you want to stay. I've got orders to exit you. I did let you back in. Just let me know what you want to do. Hey, Denny, I guess there's a couple questions, and this is for everybody. Saul's going to have a course today, a class today. If you're interested in being taught by Saul, let us know, and we can get signed up. Saul takes you into, well, under his wing. He teaches you his price action trading strategy. He teaches you how to set his proprietary scalping levels. He gives you access based on his mentoring and trading education to this Trade Along Live session as a freebie. So if you are interested in being taught by Saul, let us know, and we can talk to you privately and personally on the telephone. First order of business is to help you get signed up for this service, which I will send out the opportunity. If you haven't signed up, make sure you sign up. If you haven't signed up and sort of been dogging it, self-assess. We don't want you to get booted. If you get booted, we have to release you. Sometimes we don't release people for a while. Hey, Jake, I think you're signed up. Let me know back in chat. Mitcha, let me know. Richard. Hey, Sunil. It's nominal. It's not like a lot of money, so make sure you get yourself registered and signed up. Hey, Anupam, how are you? Glenn, KG. Hey, Rose. Hey, Rose, it looks like you're in twice. I'm not sure if that's on purpose. If it is, that's great. Just want to let you know if you're hearing things twice. So, Earl, how are you? So take a moment, review the links that I just sent. Is a discounted link set up? Make sure that you sign up for this service as a subscriber to this Trade Along Live service. After that, if you're interested in having a trading consultation, let us know. If you're interested in Saul's education, his personalized training, trader training, let us know, and we'll help you out with that also. I'll be in the background if you need me. TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.